Another Monday, another nothing episode of Monday Night Raw. This show was a whole bunch of nothing. We got rivalries going on for 18 months. We got number one contenders that are getting number one contenderships for no reason. We got messy feuds. We got meaningless feuds. We got meaningless matches. I don't even know what to say about this show anymore, man. I may as well just start watching at the next Rumble and at the next Mania season and hope that is anything like WrestleMania 40. Nothing like the one we just saw. Let's get into it. So first we kick off with a CM Punk promo, probably the only guy, along with maybe Seth Rollins, who has a shred of star power anymore. He cut a very generic promo calling Paul Heyman a betrayer. Even CM Punk said we've seen this before, because we have. We've seen Paul Heyman betray CM Punk before. We've seen this storyline before. There's no really any reason for any of this going on, but for some reason it's still going on. And obviously they're never going to explain it to us, so we're just going to have to live with it, and we're just going to have to sit through this filler for another few weeks or months. It's probably going to be months, but we'll get to that. So Punk called out Heyman, Punk called out Seth, Punk called Rollins, Timu Punk called Heyman a penguin. We've seen this. How Punk and Rollins are still feuding. Punk returned 18 months ago at Survivor Series, and since then he's been beefing Rollins. Since then, and a rivalry should end at Mania. Maybe they're just gonna do this until just get one last match after the betrayal, and then we can finally move on, because it is getting ridiculous now. Punk is one of the only guys with star power here, and he's not even had a title match. A title match that the world title desperately needs, because that has lost all its importance. Even when that title was introduced, it was a B championship to Roman Reigns' title. Seth did a good job with it, and since then, it has been on the downfall. It is in the mud. Gunther had a lame reign. Lame event Jey Uso is now having a lame reign. Now Logan's going to fight for it. How has CM Punk not gotten a slot here? What are we waiting for? You have it at the palm. Just do it. What are you waiting for? It's WrestleMania 50? Rollins comes out next with Braun Breaker just staring into the distance. Braun Breaker's been demoted into a lackey, into a sidekick, and once again, all Rollins did was say he hates CM Punk. Like we haven't heard this before. This sounds very familiar because it's been going on for 18 months. They had a bit of a brawl. Rollins called Punk human excrement. This promo and this feud is now human excrement. They had a brawl. Jay came in. Sammy came in. Looked like a 3v2, so it's looking like they're going to introduce a new member. Who do you think it's going to be, put in the comments down below. Hoping for Austin Theory, as a lot of people do, because this guy has been floating in Jobberville. And hopefully this puts a little fire up his ass, which he desperately needs. Next up, we had Gable versus Penta for maybe the 5 millionth time on Monday Night Raw. I think this the first time they had this match was in January, and now they're having it again, and we're in May. We are in May. It's been 5 months. It's just the same old stuff, isn't it? Gable interferes in a Penta match. Penta loses or somehow beats the odds 4-on-1 like he did last week and wins. And somehow there's no story here. No one's cutting a promo on each other. They're not even explaining why Gable's got beef with luchadors anymore, because he lost to Penta in January, and now he's still holding this grudge. All to fight him on Raw in a meaningless opening match. At least these two are good wrestlers, but sometimes you need a bit more substance than that. Gable gets pinned clean, as he always does, because he's a jobber now, despite the hot streak he went on last year. What a waste of time. Then we have a pointless segment between Punk and Sammy backstage talking about how they trust each other. This sounds very familiar. Didn't we get this at Backlash, LA Knight, or at SmackDown, LA Knight and Priest talking about, oh, I'll watch your back, you watch mine, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it all before. They have no content. They recycle promos from the same episodes of Raw and segments within an episode of Raw and across Raw and SmackDown on a weekly basis, and over feuds on a monthly basis. Everything is on repeat. Then we have another pointless match, the War Raiders versus American Made. American Made gets the win. And looks like we're going to get some kind of heel tag team versus heel tag team for an already dead tag team division and some dead tag team champions in the New Day. Why did we not turn New Day into the tag team champions right after their heel turn when they had a ton of heat? You waited for this feud to cool down to less than room temperature, to ice cold, and now they're the champions and they're having feuds for the titles. What are we doing? What? This isn't long-term booking. Everyone glazes Triple H about his long-term booking. This ain't long-term booking. If this is long-term booking, he would have planned the heel turn ahead of time. He would have planned their title reign ahead of time, and it would have happened, for weeks within each other. He waited. What? When was that heel turn? November. Waited about 5 months. About 5 months, 6 months for them to win the titles or even challenge for them. And now they're champions. No one cares. This is Jobbers City, American made of Jobbers, New Day. I don't even know. I don't even know what the point of this is. It's filler. Raw is unwatchable. Before, the tag teams were good. The mid cards were good. The opening match was good. The women's segments were good. The main event would be excellent. We had our main event champions wrestling on Raw. To be fair to Io and Jay, they are wrestling a little bit more than Gunther and Cody and Rhea did. So I'll give them that. But this is embarrassing, man. This is a joke. Then we have another segment backstage, because this is the running theme of the episode now. Seth is whispering to Bronze Breaker with all the spray tan. That's it. We don't get to find out what he said. This heel turn, I know they're trying to build it as like, oh, Paul Heyman has betrayed CM Punk, and Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins right now is where Roman Reigns was when he met Paul Heyman. No one's going to buy this. No one's buying this. There's no story here. No one's explaining anything. At least when Roman joined Paul, there was something happening. He was signing contracts to walk into title matches. He was beating everybody up. He was talking about being the head of the table. He was beating up his own cousin. There was a story. What is happening here? If Seth wants to talk about wanting to save the industry, how has he not mentioned the fact that John Cena is planning to leave with the title? With the most important championship in this industry. He's not even mentioned it. Is there not a glaring issue and a plot hole in this whole thing? We still don't know why Paul picked Seth when he's got nothing to his name at the moment. He's injured. He's getting old. This is silly. This is very, very silly. Next, we come out to Jey Uso, who does the same thing he's been doing for about 6 to 12 months. He comes out to the Yeet entrance. The crowd bop along like they always do, which is fine. But then they chant one more time, and then he does it again, and suddenly you've lost 15 minutes of your life waiting for Jey Uso to come down the ramp and run out of breath. Jey Uso cuts a promo on Logan Paul, who attacked him after Raw went off the air last week. And out comes Gunther, who has finally decided to care about losing his title at WrestleMania. He didn't care the night after WrestleMania on Raw. He didn't care for the 4 weeks after that. He was too busy fighting announcers, not to mention an announcer who he beat up, he powerbombed on Saturday, choked out, and this announcer, Pat McAfee, has just shown up on Raw with no injuries, no issues whatsoever. How does this make any sense? What happened to selling? Why is an announcer being able to take all that punishment and show up to work? But 2 days later, this makes Gunther look like a jobber. This makes him look like a fool. This is a joke. This is an absolute joke. Crowd chanting, "You tapped out." They're never going to forget it now. Look what you've done by booking that. Crowd chanting, "You tapped out" to Gunther. Who's going to take him seriously now? Oh, it gets worse. Now, Gunther, for some reason, has been able to announce himself as the number one contender, and he's going to face the winner of Jey versus Logan. Wonder who that's going to be. It's going to be Jey, obviously, for the World Heavyweight Championship. So apparently now, you can beat up an announcer and become the number one contender. You don't have to earn it. You beat up an announcer. So why doesn't everyone do that then? Let's go beat up Michael Cole if you want a world title. We all know what this is going to happen. This is going to be more filler. we're gonna run back a dead feud, which had a dead result, which ruined one of the characters. We're gonna have more filler because Jay is gonna retain because the end game is obviously Seth winning the title from Jay at some point, probably SummerSlam or Money in the Bank. This is how predictable and useless this show is now because the booking is awful. Raw does not matter anymore. SmackDown does not matter anymore. Weekly shows don't matter anymore. Even pay-per-views, premium live events don't even matter anymore. You may as well not watch until Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania. Nothing in between matters. So then we got Jay attacked by Braun Breaker backstage. So I'm guessing Seth Rollins whispering to Braun Breaker was him telling Braun to attack Jay backstage. That's not much of a reveal, is it? Why make such a big deal and try to make drama out of that if that's what the favor, we're doing favors again, if that's what the favor was. He attacked Jay backstage. Okay, good stuff. So Jay's now beefing Seth. He's now beefing Braun. He's now beefing Logan. He's now beefing Gunther. It's good that when you're a world champion, you're stressed because you should have a target on your back and everyone should be after you. That's good. I'll give them that. But the rest of this is garbage because what's the point? We know. It's just telling us. We know because it's Jey Uso, because he shouldn't be world champion, because he's not a believable world champion. We know that none of this matters and it's not going to end until Seth wins it. So anything that happens in between is pointless. Next, we have Finn Balor and AJ Styles. I'm not going to complain that they gave us this match on live TV because we need a bit more, something good, something a bit more fresh. And of course, these guys haven't shared the ring together in the WWE that often, so we'll take that. But once again, we get the same old stuff. We get we got Judgment Day at the side of the ring. We get Penta interfering this time. AJ Styles wins. Please end the Judgment Day. I'm tired. Everyone else is tired. This is the same thing over and over again. Judgment Day interfere. Someone wins, someone loses. Probably Dominic wins and Finn Balor loses. In a Judgment Day match, someone else might interfere. Penta interferes. Or someone else they've pissed off interferes. Judgment Day loses. All it is WWE 2K sponsors backstage in their pointless backstage segments these days. Nothing's progressing. These guys are bums. This group hasn't been the same since they lost Rhea and Damian. Now that Liv is in there as well, it's nothing. It's nothing. We got Balor getting pinned every week. Now we got Carlito who just sits there and bites apples and takes spears every week. Dominic is the only thing going in the Judgment Day. I like JD McDonough too, but they don't know how to book him either. They just disband the group. Disband the group and give people stories. How do they have so much TV time every week doing the same thing without any stories going on? It's ridiculous. Becky came out. She was upset that she lost. She kind of denied it. It was an okay promo. Didn't really last very long. Whatever. She put down Lyra. There's nothing more to say about that. Rusev is now a jobber. He put him linked up with Otis, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And now we just had a little backstage video package. And that's the end of that. That's what happens when on your debut, your big debut, the Raw after Mania, you go fight jobbers. He is now fallen into obscurity. They're not going to bring him back. I've lost interest in him. It lasted about 1 minute. And then, yeah, well done, Rebel H. Great booking. Then I think, what a dead episode of Raw. Then I think we come to the main event and a whole bunch of nothings happened. I was shocked to see that the main event has come around because a whole bunch of nothing happened over the last 2-3 hours of Raw. Nothing. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus 2 NXT call-ups, Roxanne Perez and Julia, acting like those two haven't lost every single match since they've joined the roster, and that warrants them a main event. That warrants them a main event when Gunther just comes and after being up an announcer can just declare himself number one contender. You couldn't have had a number one contenders match for the world title. You couldn't have done something. Sammy didn't wrestle. Punk doesn't wrestle fair enough. Yeah, this is silly. This is our Raw main event. The Raw main event. When last week we got Seth versus Jay for the world title. This is our Raw main event. And as you know, as they've been losing every single week, and no need to make NXT call-ups look strong or build them or give us a reason to be invested in them, Rhea and Io win clean. What is the point? What was the point in all these post-match beatdowns, all this showing up, all this trash talk? I can't take these two seriously. What has this done for anyone? Io Sky doesn't have a rival for a world title. It's just filler. The next few months of the WWE are going to be trash. It's already easy to tell, and this is an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. Jay versus Logan as Saturday night's main event will be filler. The tag match Punk and Seth versus Seth and Braun will be filler with the potential of a new debutant for the group. Maybe, but let's just get to it. Let's just wrap this up. And please separate Punk from Seth. It's been 18 months. There is a world title that needs star power. Seth, Punk, and Sammy are just sitting there doing this rubbish. Money in the Bank's around the corner. Do something. How did we waste a whole year last year? How did someone have an 8-month title reign? Priest had a 4-month title reign. Cody had a 1-year title reign. Well, Cody's not here. But Gunther and Priest. LA Knight had a long title reign. Drew McIntyre had a feud of the year. Solo had a 8-month feud with Roman Reigns. He pinned Roman Reigns. Doesn't feel like that now, does it? And they all feel like jobbers now. These episodes of Raw have no star power. SmackDown too. When Cena's not there, Randy's not there, Roman's not there, Cody's not here. Bear in mind, 3 out of 4 of those are part-timers now. Well, maybe not Randy, but there's no star power. This is useless. There's nothing happening. When you don't have star power, you need stories, and we don't have that either. We got a ring full of ads. We got prime bottles. We got announcers taking slots. We got viral moments. That's all we're getting. Just so they can get a couple extra clicks and get revenue that way, and then boast about how much money they're making. Because it's not because the product's good. It's because they're just doing all this. Yeah? This is a joke.